Hi, I'm Dr. Julian Vance. Imagine what your life could look like if you stopped letting distractions steal your time, your energy, and your dreams. Every notification, every random thought, every wasted minute chips away at your potential. No distractions is your guide to reclaiming your mind, training your focus, and building unstoppable discipline. You'll learn how to silence the noise around you, control your environment, and master the one thing that truly determines success: your attention. The life you want isn't far away. It's waiting for the focus you're about to create. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Power of Focus. Every great thing that was ever created, from the light bulb to airplanes, from books that changed the world to champions who rewrote history, all began with a single human being who decided to give their full attention to one thing. Focus is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters, deeply and consistently. We live in a world that wants to steal your attention every second. Notifications, noise, other people's opinions, they all fight for space in your mind. And when your attention is scattered, your energy is too. You can't build something great if your mind keeps jumping from one thing to another. Think about it. Sunlight scattered is just light, but sunlight focused through a lens can start a fire. The same is true for your mind. Every person who achieved something remarkable mastered the art of focusing on one goal until it was done. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb in a day. He failed thousands of times, but his focus never moved. He didn't chase every idea, he locked in on one and stayed there. That's the secret most people miss. The ones who win are not always the smartest, but they are the most focused. Focus gives you direction. Without it, you waste years running in circles. Many people work hard, but not many work smart. They spend their energy everywhere, on things that don't matter, on people who don't care, and on distractions that bring no growth. But when you focus, your life becomes simple. You know what you want. You know what to ignore. And every action moves you closer to your goal. Think about a magnifying glass again. If you keep moving it, the sunlight never burns anything. But hold it still, and it creates fire. The same happens in your life. If you keep switching dreams, changing goals, and getting distracted by what others do, you'll never reach your full power. But when you stay still on one purpose, day after day, you create fire. Focus is not easy. Your brain wants comfort and entertainment. It loves scrolling, talking, and thinking about 100 things at once. But greatness demands discipline. It requires you to silence the noise and control where your mind goes. When you wake up in the morning, your focus is your greatest weapon, and every choice you make either sharpens it or weakens it. Every time you choose to stay on your task instead of checking your phone, you're training your focus. Every time you say no to distraction, your mind becomes stronger. Just like a muscle, focus grows through repetition. The more you practice staying locked in, the easier it becomes to ignore the noise around you. Look at athletes, artists, and successful entrepreneurs. They all live by focus. Kobe Bryant was known for his Mamba mentality. He wasn't just talented, he was obsessed with improving one skill at a time. When others rested, he practiced. When others talked, he trained. He understood that focus is not just an ability, it's a lifestyle. You either control your attention or lose it to the world. Most people want success, but they rarely stay focused long enough to earn it. They start strong but give up when results don't come fast. The truth is, focus means staying patient. You won't see change overnight, but you will see it if you keep going. Remember, nothing great grows fast. Trees take years to become strong. Rivers take time to carve through mountains. And you need time to master your craft, but only if you stay focused. Focus also gives you peace. When you know what matters, you stop chasing everything else. You stop comparing yourself to others. You stop wasting time on people who don't add value. You become calm, confident, and unstoppable. Because now, you're walking in one direction, forward. Don't try to do everything. Do one thing well. If your dream is to build a business, focus on it every single day. If your goal is to master a skill, give it your full energy. Cut everything that pulls you away. Every small moment of focus compounds into something massive. You might not see it now, but months of deep work will make you unrecognizable. The truth is, most distractions are not forced on you, they're chosen. You choose to pick up your phone. You choose to check what others are doing. You choose to lose focus. But you can also choose power. You can choose to control your mind instead of letting your mind control you. The moment you decide that nothing will take your attention away from your purpose, you become unstoppable. Ask yourself right now, what truly matters to me? Then make it your mission to give that thing everything you have. Cut the noise, stay still, and go all in. Because the world doesn't reward the busy, it rewards the focused. Your dreams don't need more effort. They need more attention. You already have the time, the ability, and the tools. What you need is focus. Pure, deep, unshakable focus. When you learn to give your full mind to one purpose, life opens doors you never imagined. Don't let the world steal your attention. Protect it. Guard it like gold. Because the person who controls their focus controls their future. And that's the power that will separate you from everyone else. No distractions. No noise. Just focus, and greatness will follow. Chapter 2. The War Against Distraction. Every day, you wake up and step into a battlefield. You might not see it, but the war is real, and it's happening inside your mind. Your phone, your thoughts, your fears, your doubts, they all fight for your attention. And the truth is, the most dangerous battles are the ones we don't even realize we're in. Distractions don't always look like enemies. Sometimes they look like comfort, fun, or just a 5-minute break. But little by little, they steal your focus, your time, and your future. You have dreams, big ones. But every time you get pulled away by something small, you lose a piece of progress. That's how distraction wins. It doesn't attack with noise and chaos. It attacks with comfort and delay. It whispers, check your phone for a second, or you can do it later. And before you know it, later becomes never. Think about it. You sit down to work, to study, or to build something meaningful. You promise yourself to stay focused. But then a notification pops up. You check it. You scroll for a minute. Then another. Suddenly, 20 minutes are gone. Not because you chose to waste them, but because distraction pulled you in quietly. This is how most people lose their days, not to hard choices, but to small distractions that add up. The truth is, you can't win in life if you keep losing this war. Every successful person you admire learned how to defend their attention like a soldier guards their treasure. Because focus is treasure. Your attention is worth gold. Companies spend billions trying to get it. Every app, every ad, every platform is designed to capture your mind. You are not lazy. You are surrounded by systems built to distract you. That's why you must fight back consciously. The first step to winning this war is awareness. You can't defeat what you don't see. Start noticing what steals your time. Is it your phone? Is it social media? Is it your own thoughts, overthinking, worrying, comparing yourself to others? Once you see the enemy, you can begin to take your power back. One of the greatest traps of distraction is that it feels harmless. Watching one short video, checking one message, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But small distractions multiply. They break your focus, and every time you lose focus, your brain needs minutes to recover. Imagine trying to build a house but stopping every few minutes to check something else. You'd never finish. That's what distraction does to your life. It keeps you busy but not productive. It makes you feel like you're moving, but you're standing still. You need to start thinking like a warrior. In war, soldiers don't relax because they know the enemy is always watching. You have to protect your mind the same way. When you sit down to work, tell yourself, this is my mission. Every sound, every notification, every thought trying to pull you away is the enemy. You must defend your focus with discipline. Sometimes the enemy is not outside, it's inside. Your own mind can distract you with fear and doubt. It tells you you're not ready, that you might fail, that others are better. But those thoughts are lies meant to slow you down. Fear is just another form of distraction. It keeps you thinking instead of acting. You win when you move forward anyway. Let's take a simple example. Imagine you're trying to write a book, study for an exam, or start a new business. The first few minutes are fine, but then your mind starts to wander. You remember something you forgot to do. You feel the urge to check something online. You start to think about whether this will even work. That's distraction at its best. It doesn't need to pull you away physically. It just needs to pull you away mentally. You need to build a habit of catching yourself. Every time you notice your focus slipping, pause. Breathe. Bring your attention back. You are training your brain to obey you, not the world around you. And over time, you'll notice something powerful. Distractions will still appear, but they'll lose their power over you. One powerful strategy is to remove temptation before it starts. Don't fight your phone. Move it away. Don't rely on willpower. Build structure. A warrior doesn't go to battle unprepared. They wear armor. Your armor is your environment. Create a space that helps you focus. Clean your desk. Turn off notifications. Put your phone in another room. The fewer traps around you, the stronger you become. Another strategy is to schedule your distractions. Allow yourself breaks, but choose when. Tell yourself, I'll focus for 45 minutes, then I'll check messages. When you control when to rest, distractions lose their surprise power. You're not running away from them, you're managing them. Remember, not every distraction is external. Sometimes people around you can pull you away from your mission. Friends who waste time, negative conversations, gossip, all of these weaken your focus. You don't have to cut everyone off, but you must protect your energy. You can't stay focused if you're always surrounded by noise. Choose your circle wisely. Be around people who push you to grow, not those who pull you away. Distraction doesn't always look evil. Sometimes it wears the mask of productivity. You might spend hours doing small tasks, convincing yourself you're busy, but you're avoiding the real work that matters. That's another trap. Doing what feels easy instead of what's necessary is the silent killer of dreams. The war against distraction is not about doing more things. It's about doing the right thing and finishing it. When you feel tempted to give in to distraction, ask yourself one question. Is this helping me reach my goal, or is it stealing my future? That one question can save hours of wasted time. Think of your mind as a castle. Every distraction is an invader trying to break in. You decide who enters. You can't stop every noise from coming, but you can stop yourself from opening the door. Guard your attention like your life depends on it, because it does. Your future, your success, your peace, they all depend on what you give your attention to. Remember the story of Odysseus from Greek mythology. When he sailed past the sirens, whose songs could hypnotize sailors, he tied himself to the ship's mast so he wouldn't lose control. He knew the danger and prepared for it. You must do the same with modern distractions. Know your weak spots and protect them. You don't need to be perfect. You'll lose some battles. But every time you catch yourself drifting and pull your mind back, you win. Every small victory builds strength. Over time, focus becomes your natural state, and distractions lose their grip. The real war is not between you and your phone, or you and the internet. It's between your goals and your excuses. Between your purpose and your comfort. Between who you are now and who you could become. If you win this war, you win your life. Because the moment you stop letting distractions control you, you become powerful beyond measure. You move with clarity. You build faster. You think deeper. And the world starts to notice your focus. So fight. Every day. Don't let the world pull you away from your path. Defend your dreams. Guard your mind like treasure. You were not born to live distracted. You were born to live with direction, peace, and purpose. The war against distraction never ends, but neither does your strength. Stay focused. Stay unshakable. And remember, the one who wins the war for their mind wins everything. Chapter 3. Cut the noise. To create, you must first clear. You can't build a masterpiece in the middle of chaos. You can't grow in a crowded mind. The truth is, most people aren't tired because they're working too much. They're tired because they're carrying too much noise. Too many opinions, too many distractions, too many things that don't matter. Cutting the noise is not just about finding peace. It's about finding yourself again. Every sound around you wants your attention. Every notification, every message, every person telling you what you should do, it all adds up. And the more you listen, the more you lose touch with what truly matters. Your energy, your focus, your creativity, they all come from silence. When your mind is full of noise, there's no space for clarity. Think about your phone for a moment. When too many apps are open, it slows down. It starts to lag, overheat, and even freeze. Your mind works the same way. You have too many tabs open, worries, regrets, people's opinions, future fears. No wonder you feel stuck sometimes. To move fast again, you have to close some tabs. You have to clear space. Cutting the noise starts with recognizing it. Ask yourself, what's taking up space in my mind but giving me nothing back? Maybe it's endless scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to people you don't even know. Maybe it's negative people who drain your energy with their constant complaining. Maybe it's bad habits, procrastination, gossip, overthinking. All of these are noise. And if you want to build something meaningful, you have to let them go. Imagine your mind as a room. Right now, that room might be full of clutter, random stuff everywhere, old memories you keep replaying, people's opinions lying around like trash. There's no space to move, no space to breathe. You can't create in a room like that. The first step isn't to add something new. It's to clean up. Throw out the unnecessary. Create space for peace and progress. Negative people are one of the loudest forms of noise. They fill your head with doubt, fear, and small thinking. They make you believe your dreams are too big or your pace too slow. But remember this, you become like the people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with noise, you'll start to think like noise. Protect your energy. You don't have to hate anyone, but you must choose who gets access to you. Peace is expensive. Don't give it away for free. Social media is another powerful source of noise. It's not bad in itself, but too much of it poisons your focus. You scroll through hundreds of lives every day, comparing, judging, wishing. But while you're busy watching others live, you forget to live your own life. Every minute you give to meaningless scrolling is a minute you take away from your purpose. You can't build your dreams while drowning in everyone else's highlight reel. Try this. Set boundaries with your phone. Decide when to check it and when to leave it alone. Create silence for at least a few hours a day. At first, it might feel strange. You'll want to check what's happening, to see who liked your post or who texted you. But soon, you'll notice something powerful. Your mind starts to calm down. You'll think clearer, create faster, and feel more in control. Because when you cut the noise, your power returns. Useless habits are another kind of noise. You might not even notice them, they blend into your routine. Checking your phone the moment you wake up. Watching just one more episode. Talking about your goals instead of working on them. These habits don't seem dangerous, but they quietly eat your time and energy. The only way to beat them is to replace them. Don't try to stop a bad habit. Replace it with a better one. Read. Move. Write. Think. Every small positive habit you build pushes the noise a little further away. Creativity needs silence. Progress needs focus. You can't hear your own ideas when the world is shouting at you. Some of your best ideas, your biggest breakthroughs, will come when you're alone, in the quiet moments when your mind finally has space to breathe. That's why great thinkers, artists, and leaders all valued solitude. They knew silence wasn't emptiness, it was strength. When you cut the noise, you reconnect with your purpose. You start to feel what truly matters to you, not what the world tells you to care about. You begin to hear your own thoughts again, your dreams, your values, your voice. That's the voice that guides you toward growth. But it can't be heard over the noise. Sometimes cutting the noise means letting go of things you once loved. Old habits, toxic friendships, even certain environments. Growth often feels lonely at first because silence replaces noise. But don't be afraid of that quiet. That's where peace begins. That's where creativity wakes up. Think of a sculptor shaping a statue. They don't add more material. They remove what doesn't belong. Every strike of the chisel reveals the masterpiece inside. That's what cutting the noise does for your life. It removes the unnecessary so your greatness can appear. Every time you choose peace over chaos, you get stronger. Every time you say no to noise, you move closer to clarity. You'll start to notice that when you stop reacting to everything around you, you start creating from within. That's the shift. You stop living by distractions and start living by design. And remember this, silence isn't the absence of sound. It's the presence of control. It means you decide what enters your mind. You decide what deserves your attention. The world will always be loud. But when you learn to quiet it inside you, nothing outside can shake you. So clear your space. Unfollow what doesn't inspire you. Walk away from conversations that drain you. Turn off what keeps your mind restless. Choose peace over noise. Because when you cut the noise, you open the door to creation, clarity, and power. Your focus grows in silence. Your ideas are born in peace. And your future, the one you dream about, begins the moment you decide to cut the noise and make space for what truly matters. Chapter 4. Control your environment. You can't stay focused in chaos. It's impossible to build a peaceful, productive mind when everything around you is loud, messy, or full of distraction. Your environment shapes your energy more than you realize. It's like a mirror. Whatever surrounds you eventually lives inside you. If your space is cluttered, your thoughts will be cluttered. If your space is calm and simple, your mind will follow. Your surroundings either support your goals or sabotage them. Every object, sound, and person in your environment affects the way you think and act. That's why it's so important to take control of your space, both the space around you and the one inside your mind. When you design your environment with intention, discipline becomes easier, focus becomes natural, and peace becomes your default state. Start with your physical space. Look around you right now, your room, your desk, your phone. Ask yourself, does this space help me grow, or does it distract me? Because most people don't lose focus because they lack motivation. They lose it because their environment constantly pulls them away from what matters. If your desk is full of clutter, your brain stays busy trying to process it. If your phone is next to you, lighting up every few minutes, your attention keeps breaking. If your room feels chaotic, your thoughts can't stay calm. That's why one of the simplest yet most powerful steps you can take is to clean your environment. Remove what doesn't serve your peace. Keep only what helps you think, create, or rest. Imagine your environment as the soil and your mind as the seed. Even the strongest seed won't grow in toxic soil. But when the soil is clean, rich, and healthy, growth happens naturally. That's exactly how focus works. A clear, supportive environment allows your potential to grow without resistance. Start by decluttering. When you wake up, make your bed. When you finish working, clean your desk. It may sound small, but these simple actions send a signal to your brain, this space is under control. And when your space is in control, your thoughts begin to align too. Small order outside creates big order inside. Next, manage the sounds around you. Noise can destroy focus. If you can, work in quiet places. If silence feels too heavy, use calm background music or nature sounds. Avoid environments full of constant chatter or distractions. The goal is not perfection, it's peace. You want a space that makes your mind relax enough to focus deeply. Lighting also matters. A dark, messy room can make you feel tired and uninspired, while a bright, clean space can energize you. Open your windows, let sunlight in, or organize your lighting to create a space that motivates you. Your environment should wake you up, not drain you. Now, think about your digital environment. Your phone, your laptop, your apps, they are part of your environment too. If your phone is filled with notifications and endless apps, you are living in a digital storm. Control it before it controls you. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Delete apps that waste your time. Unfollow accounts that bring negativity or distraction. Every click shapes your attention, so use it wisely. Your environment isn't just physical, it's also emotional. The people you surround yourself with form a big part of your atmosphere. Some people lift you, inspire you, and push you to grow. Others drain your energy, fill you with doubt, and make your goals feel impossible. Be honest with yourself. Who in your life helps your focus, and who hurts it? You don't have to cut everyone off, but you must protect your peace. Spend more time around people who align with your values and less around those who pull you into chaos. Sometimes, controlling your environment means creating boundaries. Tell people when you need quiet time. Close your door when you're working. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Don't feel guilty for protecting your focus. You are not being rude. You are being responsible with your energy. And remember, your internal environment matters just as much as the external one. You can be in a quiet room but still feel overwhelmed if your thoughts are chaotic. That's why mental decluttering is just as important. When your mind is full of worries, to-do lists, and endless thoughts, it's like trying to work in a messy room inside your head. Clear it. Write things down. Journal your thoughts. Release the noise so your mind can breathe. You can also train your internal environment by setting mental zones. For example, when you enter your workspace, tell your brain, "This is focus time." When you step away, tell it, "This is rest time." Teach your mind to associate places and times with specific states. Over time, this builds mental discipline. Your energy is sacred. You can't control everything in the world, but you can control what you allow into your space. Every item you keep, every sound you hear, every person you let close to you, they all carry energy. Ask yourself, does this make me stronger or weaker? If it weakens you, it doesn't belong in your environment. Even small environmental changes can completely transform your discipline. For example, if you're trying to exercise more, leave your workout clothes where you can see them. If you want to read more, put a book next to your bed instead of your phone. If you want to eat healthier, fill your kitchen with good food and remove the junk. Make your environment serve your goals. Don't rely on willpower. Design your space to make good choices easy. This is how high achievers operate. They don't depend on motivation every day. They build systems around them that make success natural. They don't leave focus to chance. They design it. If your environment supports your goals, you won't have to fight yourself so hard to stay disciplined. Take control of your mornings. How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Begin in a calm, clean, quiet space. Don't grab your phone first thing. Let your mind wake up in silence. The first moments of your day are the foundation of your focus. Protect them. Also, don't underestimate the power of nature in your environment. Go for walks. Let your mind reset outdoors. Fresh air and natural light clear your mental fog like nothing else. Even a few minutes of quiet outside can refresh your energy and give you new perspective. Remember, focus is fragile. It needs protection. It doesn't grow in messy, loud, chaotic spaces. It grows in order, clarity, and calm. So take the time to build an environment that supports it. Clean your space. Guard your peace. Protect your energy. When you control your environment, you control your mind. And when you control your mind, you control your life. That's how you build unshakable focus, not by fighting distractions all day, but by designing a life where they can't reach you. Your environment should make you feel inspired, not overwhelmed. It should push you to rise, not pull you down. Every detail matters, because every detail either moves you closer to your goals or further from them. So take charge. Don't wait for motivation to come. Create an environment that brings motivation to you. Turn your space into a reflection of your purpose. Surround yourself with things, people, and energy that make you better. Because when your environment is in control, your mind becomes unstoppable. And when your mind is unstoppable, your dreams have no limits. No chaos. No clutter. No noise. Just you, your focus, and your purpose, in a space designed for greatness. Your environment doesn't just shape your focus, it shapes your identity. Think about it. You can't expect to feel like a champion if your surroundings don't reflect discipline. You can't build confidence in a place that feels chaotic. Your space silently teaches you how to think, how to act, and how to feel every single day. When your environment is messy, your brain constantly receives messages of disorder. Even if you don't realize it, it drains your energy. You might feel tired, unmotivated, or easily distracted. Not because you're lazy, but because your space keeps pulling your attention in 100 directions. The truth is, a chaotic environment makes your goals feel heavier than they are. Now imagine walking into a clean, calm, well-organized space. Everything has a place. Your desk is clear. Your room feels open. Your phone isn't buzzing. Instantly, you feel lighter. That's not just your imagination. That's your mind finally breathing. You've removed resistance. You've created a mental stage where focus and creativity can perform freely. There's a reason top performers are so intentional about their environment. Look at elite athletes. They don't train in random places. They create spaces that demand discipline. Look at successful entrepreneurs. Their offices are designed for clarity and control. Even writers and artists know that their environment affects their inspiration. It's not about being perfect. It's about creating conditions that bring out your best self. If your environment constantly tempts you, you'll lose more battles than you win. For example, if you're trying to study, but your phone is beside you, you're fighting two wars, one with your mind, one with your environment. But if your phone is in another room, you've already won half the battle. It's not about being stronger than distraction. It's about being smarter. Here's something powerful. Your environment can either force you to rely on willpower or help you build automatic discipline. Willpower fades, but environment lasts. So instead of trying to resist temptation all the time, make your space help you stay on track. If you want to eat better, fill your fridge with real food and get rid of the junk. If you want to focus on your goals, place reminders of them where you can see them, on your wall, your phone wallpaper, your notebook. Visual cues shape your behavior more than you realize. Every time you see your goal, your brain receives a small spark of motivation. Also, don't underestimate the emotional energy of your environment. A messy room doesn't just distract you, it affects your mood. It makes you feel stuck, stressed, and unmotivated. Cleaning is not just about looks, it's about mental health. When you take time to organize your space, you're not just moving objects, you're clearing mental fog. And then there's energy. Every place has a certain feeling. Some rooms make you want to work hard, others make you want to lie down and waste time. Notice how your energy changes when you enter different spaces. If your environment constantly drains you, that's a sign it needs to change. Maybe it's time to open the windows, move the furniture, paint the walls, or even step outside and find a better space for certain tasks. You don't need money to control your environment. You need intention. A clean desk, good light, fresh air, and silence cost nothing. It's about attention, not luxury. Even a small room can become a place of power when you care for it. Now let's talk about your mental environment again. Because even if your room is spotless, your mind can still be messy. Many people try to find peace outside when the real problem is inside. You must learn to clean your thoughts just like you clean your room. Remove mental clutter, negative thoughts, useless worries, and imaginary fears. Every time you overthink or replay old mistakes, it's like leaving trash in your mind. Let it go. You can't build focus in a mind full of noise. Take time each day to clear it, through journaling, meditation, or simply being silent. Also, protect your environment from negativity. Energy spreads like fire. If you're constantly surrounded by people who complain, gossip, or doubt everything, it's like breathing polluted air. You won't even realize how much it's affecting you until you step away. You need people who lift you higher, who remind you of what's possible. And remember, you are part of someone else's environment too. The energy you bring to a space matters. Be the person who brings calm, focus, and positivity wherever you go. Don't be the source of noise in other people's peace. It's also important to create a separation between work and rest. Many people blur these two spaces. They study in bed, eat at their desk, or work in noisy areas. That confuses the brain. It doesn't know when to focus or when to relax. Give your brain clear boundaries. When you're in your workspace, it's focus time. When you leave it, it's rest time. This helps you recover faster and perform better. One powerful exercise is to design what I call a focus zone. It doesn't have to be big. It can be a corner of your room, a desk, or even a chair near a window. Make it your personal space for deep work. When you enter it, everything else disappears. No phone, no noise, no distractions. Just you and your mission. Over time, your brain will learn to switch into focus mode automatically whenever you step into that zone. If you share your environment with others, family, roommates, co-workers, it's not always easy, but you can still control your part. Be intentional with your area. Keep it clean. Keep it calm. When people see your discipline, they'll start respecting your boundaries too. Another important part of your environment is time. Yes, time is an environment too. What you allow into your schedule shapes your mental space. If your days are full of meaningless activities, gossip, and endless scrolling, then your mental environment becomes crowded. Create quiet hours for yourself. Block time for deep work, reading, and reflection. Protect your schedule like you protect your peace. Here's something you'll realize. When you master your environment, you feel stronger, calmer, and more in control of your life. You stop feeling like a victim of distraction because your space no longer controls you. You control it. You'll start noticing that focus feels easier, and peace feels natural. And when you look around at your environment, your clean space, your organized mind, your boundaries, you'll see a reflection of your new identity. You'll see discipline. You'll see strength. You'll see someone who refuses to live in chaos. Because the truth is this, you don't rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your environment. If your environment is weak, your discipline will crumble. But if your environment is strong, your focus will thrive. So take control today. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Create them. Remove the clutter. Turn down the noise. Redesign your surroundings to support your dreams. Every time you clean, organize, or simplify your space, you're not just fixing your room, you're upgrading your mind. Every time you protect your peace, you're protecting your potential. Every time you control your environment, you're taking back control of your life. And when you do that, when your environment finally matches your purpose, you'll realize something powerful. Focus doesn't require effort anymore. It becomes who you are. That's the magic of controlling your environment. It doesn't just change where you live. It changes how you live. Chapter 5. Train your attention. Focus is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Most people think focus is a gift, something you're either born with or not. But the truth is, focus is built through practice, just like strength in the gym. Every time you choose to stay focused instead of getting distracted, you're training your mental muscles. Every time you fight the urge to check your phone or wander off, your focus grows stronger. Your attention is your most valuable power. Wherever your attention goes, your life follows. That's why distractions are so dangerous. They steal your attention 1 second at a time. And when you lose control of your attention, you lose control of your future. But the good news is, you can train it. You can learn to make your mind obey you instead of being dragged by every little noise or thought. Think of your focus like a flashlight. When the light is scattered, it barely lights anything. But when it's concentrated on one spot, it becomes powerful enough to burn through steel. Your attention works the same way. When you spread it across too many things, your phone, your worries, your surroundings, your energy becomes weak. But when you direct it toward one task, one goal, one purpose, it becomes unstoppable. The problem today is that most people train distraction, not focus. Every time you scroll social media, switch tasks, or multitask, you're teaching your brain to have short bursts of attention. That's why it's hard to sit still or focus for long. Your brain has learned to crave constant stimulation. You've built a habit of distraction. But the same way you train distraction, you can retrain focus. Start by doing one thing at a time. When you work, just work. When you rest, just rest. When you talk, just talk. Be fully there. Multitasking feels productive, but it's actually slow poison for your focus. Science shows that your brain can't truly focus on two things at once. It just switches back and forth quickly, losing energy every time. So if you want strong focus, stop multitasking. Train your brain to go deep into one thing until it's done. Now, let's talk about deep work. Deep work means working with full concentration for a long period of time without distractions. It's how great writers finish books, how inventors build new ideas, and how athletes master their craft. But deep work doesn't happen by accident. It's trained. Start small. Set a timer for 30 minutes and promise yourself you won't check your phone or move until the time is up. When your mind starts to wander, gently bring it back. That's the workout. Every time you pull your focus back, your attention gets stronger. At first, it'll feel hard. You'll feel restless, bored, even uncomfortable. That's normal. It's your mind detoxing from years of overstimulation. Don't quit. Over time, your focus sessions will grow longer. Soon, what once felt impossible, working for hours in peace, will feel natural. That's when you know your focus muscle has grown. Here's another powerful exercise. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind. It's about noticing where your attention goes. Sit in silence for a few minutes and observe your thoughts. Watch how your mind jumps from one idea to another. When it wanders, bring it back, over and over again. That's training. You're teaching your brain to stay where you want it to stay. Focus is built through awareness. The more you notice when you get distracted, the faster you can bring yourself back to the present moment. You'll start catching yourself mid-distraction, before you reach for your phone, before your thoughts drift away. That awareness is power. It's like catching yourself in the middle of breaking a bad habit. It means you're taking control. Discipline and focus always grow together. When you train your attention, you also train your discipline. Imagine a boxer learning to block punches. The more they practice, the faster their reflexes become. That's how your mind works too. When you constantly train it to resist distraction, it learns to protect itself from anything that tries to steal its focus. One of the best ways to train focus is to make small promises to yourself and keep them. For example, say, "I'll study for 25 minutes without touching my phone." Then actually do it. Each time you keep a promise, you build trust with yourself. You start believing in your own control. And when you believe you're in control, your focus becomes unbreakable. Your attention also grows through challenge. When you avoid hard tasks, your focus weakens. But when you face challenges and stay present through discomfort, you're strengthening it. Think of athletes who train under pressure. They don't become calm by avoiding chaos. They become calm by mastering it. So, when your mind says, "I can't focus," don't listen. Stay still. Train it to push through boredom, frustration, and resistance. That's where real growth happens. Another way to train your attention is by setting focus rituals. For example, before starting a task, take a deep breath and say to yourself, "Now I focus." Turn off distractions. Clear your desk. Close unnecessary tabs. Create a routine that tells your brain it's time to enter deep work mode. Over time, your mind will automatically associate that routine with focus, like flipping a mental switch. Also, train your attention by taking care of your body. Focus is not just mental, it's physical. Sleep, nutrition, and hydration affect how long and how clearly you can think. A tired, dehydrated brain can't stay sharp for long. So eat clean, rest enough, and move your body. A strong body fuels a strong mind. Here's a simple but powerful practice. Silence. Spend time each day in complete silence. No phone, no music, no noise. Silence is like a gym for your mind. It allows your brain to rest, recharge, and recover from all the noise it faces daily. The more you get comfortable with silence, the easier it becomes to stay focused anywhere. Your phone is your biggest enemy in this war. Every notification is a small cut to your focus. Train yourself to separate from it when you need to work. Put it in another room, turn off alerts, or use apps that block distractions. You'll be shocked at how much more clearly your mind works when it's not constantly interrupted. Also, learn to respect your attention span. You can't force your brain to focus for hours without rest. Train it gradually. Work in focus sessions, 30, 45, or 60 minutes, then take a short break. Step outside, stretch, drink water, and come back. These small resets keep your focus strong all day long. Over time, your brain will start craving focus instead of distraction. You'll notice that scrolling or multitasking doesn't feel satisfying anymore. It feels like noise. And working deeply, staying present, and creating something meaningful will feel exciting. That's when you know you've reprogrammed your mind. Every person who achieved greatness trained their attention. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci could paint for hours without losing concentration. Athletes like Kobe Bryant practiced the same shot thousands of times with full focus. Writers, scientists, inventors, they all mastered one thing: the ability to stay locked in when others got bored or distracted. That's what separates average from extraordinary. Your future depends on what you focus on today. Every minute you waste on distraction is a minute you steal from your dreams. But every minute you spend in focused work is an investment in your growth, your skills, and your purpose. So start training your attention now. Start small, but start today. Build your focus like a muscle. Challenge it, stretch it, and protect it. There will be days when your mind wanders more than usual. That's okay. Don't get frustrated. Bring it back gently, again and again. That's how mastery is built, through patience, consistency, and practice. Because the truth is, a focused mind can change your entire life. When you master your attention, you can master any skill, overcome any obstacle, and achieve anything you want. You stop reacting to the world and start creating it. So keep training. Keep showing up. Every moment of focus is a step closer to the person you want to become. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the discipline you built, the focus you trained, became your greatest strength. That's the power of training your attention. It transforms not just how you work, but who you are. A clear mind. A strong focus. An unstoppable you. Your attention is like a garden. Whatever you water grows, and whatever you neglect fades. If you water distraction every day, checking your phone, jumping between apps, switching tasks, you grow weeds of chaos. But if you water focus through patience, discipline, and intention, you grow clarity, creativity, and power. The problem is, most people don't even realize how fragile their attention has become. They wake up and check notifications before taking a single deep breath. Their minds start the day already fragmented. From that moment on, they're not leading their attention, they're chasing it. But you're not meant to live that way. You're not meant to be controlled by notifications, noise, or impulses. You're meant to control them. Training your attention means reclaiming ownership of your mind. It means choosing where your energy goes instead of letting the world decide for you. And to do that, you must practice presence. Presence is the art of being fully here, not half here, not thinking of what's next, but here, in this exact moment. When you're truly present, your power multiplies. Try this simple exercise. Pick one ordinary activity, eating, walking, or even washing dishes, and do it with full attention. Don't rush. Don't check your phone. Just notice every movement, every sound, every breath. It might feel strange at first, but that's because your brain isn't used to slowing down. You're rewiring it to focus again. That's how focus grows, not by force, but by awareness. Every moment of true presence trains your mind to stay still longer. You're teaching your brain that it doesn't need constant stimulation to feel alive. Another powerful technique is called attention intervals. Set aside short, focused blocks of time throughout your day, even just 20 to 40 minutes, where you give one task your full energy. When the time ends, take a real break. Don't check social media, step outside, breathe, or move your body. Then return for another round. This rhythm helps you sustain focus for long periods without burning out. And remember, focus is not about doing more, it's about doing better. You don't need to fill every minute with work. You need to make the minutes you do work count. One focused hour is worth more than 10 distracted ones. Many people stay busy all day but never move forward because their attention is scattered. Don't be one of them. Train your attention to be deep, not wide. When distractions come, and they will, don't fight them with anger. That only gives them power. Instead, notice them calmly and return to what matters. Like training a puppy, You guide your mind back gently but firmly. Over time, your focus will obey without resistance. Now, let's talk about mental endurance. Just like athletes train their bodies to last longer, you must train your mind to stay focused longer. Start with small goals, maybe 30 minutes of deep work, and then increase over time. Push your limits slowly. The key is consistency, not perfection. Every time you extend your focus by just a few more minutes, you're stretching your capacity. Mental endurance also grows through stillness. Spend time alone without music, screens, or noise. Let your thoughts wander. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. Your brain will crave distraction. But that discomfort is growth. It's your mind learning to sit with itself again. Once you master stillness, you'll be unstoppable, because you'll no longer fear boredom or silence. You can also strengthen focus through visualization. Before starting a task, close your eyes and picture yourself completely absorbed in your work, calm, confident, and undistracted. Visualization trains your mind to recognize what focus feels like. So when you start working, your brain naturally follows that state. And never underestimate the power of small wins. Every time you complete a task with full focus, celebrate it. You're reinforcing a new identity, someone who finishes what they start. That's how focus becomes part of who you are, not just what you do. There's also something deeply spiritual about training your attention. When you learn to control your focus, you start feeling more alive. You notice details you once ignored, the sound of the wind, the rhythm of your breath, the peace in silence. You stop rushing through life and start experiencing it. Focus doesn't just help you work better, it helps you live better. And here's a truth most people forget. Your attention determines your happiness. If you constantly focus on problems, you feel heavy. If you focus on gratitude and progress, you feel powerful. Where your attention lives, your emotions follow. So guard it fiercely. Don't give it away to things that drain you. You can train this every day. When negative thoughts appear, don't let them take over. Shift your attention to something you can control. Your breath, your effort, your goals. That shift is strength. You're not running from negativity. You're choosing a higher focus. That's mastery. There will be days when your attention feels weak. You'll struggle to stay on task. Your mind will wander, and you'll feel frustrated. But remember, those are the most important training days. Just like muscles grow through resistance, your focus grows when it's tested. Don't quit. Each difficult day makes your mind stronger than before. You can even turn distractions into training. For example, if you hear noise while working, don't get annoyed, use it as a test. Ask yourself, can I stay calm and focused even now? When you succeed, you're proving to yourself that your focus isn't fragile. It's powerful. And never forget to rest. Focus is not about pushing non-stop. It's about balancing effort and recovery. A tired brain can't focus, no matter how disciplined you are. Sleep well, take breaks, and allow your mind to recharge. When you rest properly, your focus sharpens like a blade. Over time, something incredible will happen. You'll notice your world slowing down. While others rush and panic, you'll stay calm and steady. You'll enter a flow state more often, those moments when time disappears, and you're completely absorbed in what you're doing. That's the reward of all your training. That's the mind of someone who truly owns their attention. And once you experience that level of focus, you'll never want to go back to the noise. Because in that silence, in that deep, undistracted state, you'll find your real power. You'll create more, learn faster, and think deeper than ever before. That's the beauty of training your attention. It gives you freedom. Freedom from distraction. Freedom from chaos. Freedom from being pulled in every direction. You become the master of your time, your energy, and your destiny. So keep practicing. Keep showing up. Keep returning your attention to what matters, again and again, until focus becomes your nature. Because in a world full of noise, the one who can stay still, present, and locked in will always rise above the rest. And that can be you. You just have to keep training your attention, until your mind becomes your greatest ally, not your enemy. Until you can say, with confidence, Nothing outside of me can break my focus anymore. That's the moment you'll know you've truly mastered it. Chapter 6. The Focus Rituals of Champions. Champions don't rely on luck. They rely on routines, rituals, and habits that protect their focus and amplify their energy. Focus is not just a skill, it's a lifestyle. And champions know that to perform at the highest level, you must create conditions that make focus natural, almost automatic. The first ritual of champions is morning mastery. How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Champions wake up with purpose. They don't reach for their phone or dive into endless noise. Instead, they take control of the first moments, stretching, breathing, reflecting, or planning. These small actions prime the mind for clarity and calm. Your morning isn't just the start of your day, it's a training ground for your focus. Next is the preparation ritual. Before champions begin any task, they prepare their space and their mind. They remove distractions. They set clear intentions. A clean desk, a quiet environment, and a clear goal are not optional, they are essential. Imagine an athlete stepping into the arena without warming up or a musician performing without tuning their instrument. You wouldn't allow that. Why allow it with your mind? Preparation ensures that your attention is fully ready to perform. Another critical ritual is deep work blocks. Champions understand that focus thrives in long stretches, uninterrupted by notifications, calls, or interruptions. They set aside hours of deliberate work, knowing that greatness is built in these focus sessions. They don't chase motivation, they create it through action. You can start small, 30 or 45 minutes, and gradually increase your sessions. Each deep work block strengthens your mental stamina and your ability to resist distraction. Micro-rituals also make a difference. Simple cues, a cup of tea, a few deep breaths, a particular playlist, can signal the brain to switch into focus mode. Champions use these cues consistently. When you train your brain to associate certain actions with attention, focus becomes automatic. Over time, your mind doesn't have to decide, it simply moves into flow. Champions also practice energy management. They know focus is tied to energy, not just willpower. They schedule tasks according to their natural rhythms, tackling demanding work when their mind is sharpest and lighter work when it's not. They fuel their body with nutritious food, hydrate consistently, and rest when needed. They understand that attention cannot be sustained on an empty tank. Your environment and your body are inseparable from your ability to concentrate. Reflection rituals are another hallmark. Champions take time daily to review their actions, refine their habits, and measure their progress. They don't just move through life blindly, they pause, analyze, and adjust. Journaling, meditation, or even a quiet walk can serve as reflection time. These rituals sharpen focus by helping you understand what works, what doesn't, and how to improve continuously. Consistency is what transforms habits into rituals. Champions do these actions daily, even when they don't feel like it. Discipline ensures that focus isn't a fleeting burst of energy, but a permanent part of your identity. Every time you repeat a ritual, you reinforce the neural pathways that support attention, willpower, and clarity. Another ritual is environmental control. Champions design spaces that automatically encourage focus. Their desks are clean, their tools are ready, and their surroundings minimize distractions. Even small details, lighting, seating, and organization, are intentional. Your environment should make good decisions the easiest ones to make. Champions also practice mental resets. Focus is like a muscle, it tires. Breaks, movement, and silence are rituals, not luxuries. A walk outside, a few minutes of stretching, or deep breathing allows your mind to recharge. By respecting rest as a ritual, champions avoid burnout and maintain sustained focus over weeks, months, and years. Visualization is another key ritual. Before performing, champions picture themselves fully engaged, performing flawlessly, and overcoming challenges. Visualization trains the mind to anticipate success and stay locked in under pressure. Even just a few minutes of mental rehearsal can dramatically improve attention and performance. Finally, champions use boundary rituals. They protect their attention from unnecessary intrusion. They say no to distractions, irrelevant conversations, and unimportant tasks. They understand that every interruption, no matter how small, chips away at their focus. Protecting your attention is not selfish, it is strategic. When you combine these rituals, morning mastery, preparation, deep work, energy management, reflection, environmental control, mental resets, visualization, and boundaries, focus stops being a battle. It becomes your default state. Your mind no longer drifts aimlessly. It locks in, executes, and achieves. These rituals aren't complicated, but they are powerful. They separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. Champions don't rely on talent alone. They rely on the structure of their habits, the intentionality of their actions, and the discipline of their rituals. You can adopt the same rituals in your life. Start small, repeat consistently, and watch your focus grow beyond what you thought possible. Remember, focus is not magic. It is built, trained, and protected. The rituals of champions are the bridge between ordinary attention and extraordinary results. By incorporating them, you create a life where concentration flows naturally, decisions are clear, and progress becomes inevitable. Your attention is your greatest asset. Treat it like a treasure. Protect it. Train it. Ritualize it. Because when focus becomes a habit, greatness is no longer a dream. It's a natural outcome of the life you've designed. One of the most overlooked rituals of champions is start of task priming. Before they begin any work, they spend a few moments preparing mentally. This isn't complicated. It can be as simple as taking 3 deep breaths, setting a clear intention, or repeating a short affirmation like, "I will focus fully on this task." These tiny moments create a psychological boundary that separates work from distraction. It signals to your brain that it's time to enter a high-performance state. Over time, this habit alone can dramatically increase your ability to sustain attention. Another ritual is task chunking. Champions never try to tackle everything at once. Instead, they break down large goals into manageable parts. This technique reduces overwhelm and keeps the mind sharp. Completing small chunks gives a sense of accomplishment, which reinforces focus. For example, a writer might divide a book into chapters, focusing on one chapter at a time rather than the entire project. The brain thrives on clarity, and chunking provides it. Single tasking is another critical ritual. While the world praises multitasking, champions know the truth. Multitasking fragments your attention and drains mental energy. Doing one thing at a time allows the brain to reach deep focus, producing higher quality work. If you want to train focus like a champion, make it a rule: one task, one mind, one moment. Champions also use transition rituals. Moving from one task to another can easily create distraction. A ritual, such as a short walk, a glass of water, or a minute of stretching, signals to your brain that one focus block is ending and another is about to begin. This smooths mental transitions and keeps energy consistent throughout the day. Reflection and review rituals are another key habit. At the end of each day, champions spend a few minutes reviewing what they accomplished, what distracted them, and what they can improve. This is not criticism, it's observation. Journaling or simply thinking through the day helps them identify patterns, refine rituals, and strengthen attention. Reflection transforms experience into growth, ensuring that focus improves consistently over time. Another powerful ritual is limiting decision fatigue. Champions protect their attention by reducing the number of unnecessary choices in their life. They don't waste mental energy deciding what to wear, what to eat, or what minor tasks to do first. Habits and routines handle these small decisions so the brain can conserve energy for what truly matters. Even a simple routine like planning meals or wardrobe in advance frees attention for higher value work. Digital hygiene rituals are crucial in today's world. Champions control their technology instead of being controlled by it. Notifications are silenced. Social media is scheduled, not random. Email is checked at designated times, not constantly. Your devices should serve your focus, not steal it. This is one of the simplest, most effective ways to create an environment where attention thrives. Champions also cultivate energy rituals. Focus is fueled by energy, and energy comes from the body. They prioritize sleep, regular movement, hydration, and nutrition. They understand that a clear mind cannot exist in a tired or drained body. Short bursts of exercise, stretching, or a few minutes of walking can restore mental clarity and increase alertness, making focus easier to sustain. Visualization rituals are another secret weapon. Champions mentally rehearse tasks before doing them. Athletes visualize the perfect performance. Writers imagine each paragraph before writing. Entrepreneurs picture the flow of a meeting. Visualization strengthens the neural pathways for focus and primes the brain for action. When the task begins, your mind already knows what to do, making sustained attention effortless. Another overlooked habit is celebrating small wins. After completing a task or a focus session, champions take a moment to acknowledge their progress. This reinforcement strengthens attention because the brain associates focused work with positive feelings. It may seem small, but over time, these moments of recognition compound, making focus more enjoyable and habitual. Champions also create boundary rituals for interactions with others. They clearly communicate focus time and protect it. They avoid interruptions, unnecessary meetings, and energy-draining conversations. Protecting attention isn't selfish, it's strategic. Each boundary reinforces control over your environment and your mind. Finally, champions embrace ritualized downtime. Focus isn't about constant effort. It's about balance. Deliberate rest, meditation, or quiet reflection allows the mind to recharge. These rituals prevent burnout, strengthen long-term attention, and even enhance creativity. Champions know that downtime is part of the work, not separate from it. When you combine all these rituals, morning mastery, preparation, deep work, single tasking, transition routines, reflection, energy management, visualization, boundary setting, and deliberate rest, focus becomes effortless. It becomes a natural part of your identity. You stop fighting for attention because your life is structured to guide it toward what matters most. The rituals of champions don't just make them productive, they make them unshakable. They perform consistently under pressure, resist distractions, and maintain clarity when chaos surrounds them. You can adopt the same rituals. Start small, be consistent, and build them into your daily life. The moment you do, focus becomes less of a skill and more of a natural state, a lifestyle. Remember, champions are not extraordinary because they have more talent. They are extraordinary because they protect, train, and ritualize their attention. You can do the same. Each ritual is a tool, each habit a building block. Together, they create a life where focus flows naturally, where productivity rises effortlessly, and where greatness becomes inevitable. Your mind, your attention, your focus, these are the most powerful assets you have. Protect them. Train them. Ritualize them. Because when you do, you don't just reach your goals, you transform into the person capable of achieving anything you want. Chapter 7. Overcoming mental fatigue. Mental fatigue is the invisible enemy of focus. You may work hard, plan well, and follow routines, yet your mind feels heavy, slow, or foggy. Fatigue doesn't just lower productivity, it steals motivation, creativity, and clarity. Champions understand that overcoming mental fatigue is as important as building focus itself. It's the difference between burning out and performing at your best consistently. Fatigue begins in subtle ways. Maybe you feel restless, distracted, or forgetful. Perhaps small decisions feel exhausting or tasks that once seemed simple now take immense effort. These are warning signs that your mental energy is low. Ignoring them only deepens the drain. The first step in overcoming fatigue is awareness, noticing when your mind is tired instead of pushing through blindly. One of the most powerful ways to fight mental fatigue is through strategic rest. Rest isn't laziness, it's fuel. Champions schedule breaks intentionally. Even short pauses, a few minutes of deep breathing, a quick walk, or a moment of silence, can reset the mind. These micro-breaks give your brain a chance to recover, making the next task sharper and faster. Over time, regular rest reduces cumulative fatigue and allows your attention to sustain for hours. Sleep is another critical weapon. Without proper sleep, your focus, memory, and decision-making suffer. Champions protect their sleep like a sacred ritual. They maintain consistent schedules, reduce screen time before bed, and create an environment conducive to deep rest. Mental recovery doesn't happen while staring at your phone or rushing to finish one last task. It happens during uninterrupted, quality sleep. Nutrition and hydration are equally important. Your brain is fueled by nutrients and water. Skipping meals, consuming excess sugar, or staying dehydrated dulls attention and accelerates fatigue. Simple habits like drinking water consistently, eating balanced meals, and including brain-friendly foods, nuts, fruits, lean protein, can dramatically improve mental energy. Champions know that feeding the mind properly is part of the battle for focus. Physical movement is a secret ally against mental fatigue. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, releases endorphins, and clears mental fog. You don't need hours at the gym. Even a short walk, stretching, or a few minutes of bodyweight exercises can recharge your mind. Champions move their bodies intentionally to strengthen their attention. When the mind tires, movement reignites energy. Another key strategy is mental reset techniques. Meditation, mindfulness, or simply pausing to observe your thoughts can clear clutter and restore energy. Mental fatigue often accumulates from constant mental chatter, worries, stress, or overthinking. By taking moments to center yourself, you relieve that strain. Even a few minutes of silence, focusing on your breath, or observing your surroundings can feel like a powerful recharge. Champions also know the importance of focus rotation. The brain cannot maintain peak attention on a single task for unlimited time. Switching between different types of tasks, from analytical work to creative work or physical activity, prevents overuse of one mental pathway. Alternating tasks thoughtfully can maintain productivity while reducing fatigue. Setting boundaries is another crucial tactic. Mental fatigue often comes from overcommitment, saying yes to too many obligations, endless meetings, or constant interruptions. Champions protect their time. They prioritize high-value activities and decline unnecessary distractions. Guarding your attention reduces mental strain and reserves energy for what truly matters. Another overlooked cause of fatigue is emotional stress. Anxiety, worry, and unresolved conflict drain energy silently. Champions develop rituals to process emotions, journaling, talking to a trusted person, or reflecting on challenges. Addressing stress directly frees up mental bandwidth and restores focus. A simple but effective tool is micro-achievements. Completing small tasks releases a sense of progress and reduces mental exhaustion. When your mind feels overwhelmed, focus on one small step at a time. Each success builds momentum, fuels confidence, and reduces the weight of fatigue. Breathing and posture also influence energy levels. Shallow breathing or poor posture restricts oxygen flow and contributes to mental sluggishness. Champions breathe deeply, maintain posture, and use physical alignment to support mental clarity. The body and mind are deeply connected. Fatigue in one reflects in the other. Technology management is equally important. Constant notifications, endless scrolling, and multitasking accelerate fatigue. Champions use digital discipline, silencing alerts, scheduling specific times for email, and avoiding unnecessary apps. They prevent technology from stealing mental energy. Finally, champions embrace purpose as an antidote. When you are aligned with a meaningful goal, fatigue loses its power. Your mind endures discomfort more easily because every effort has direction. Fatigue still exists, but it no longer dictates your actions. Purpose fuels energy, focus, and persistence even in the hardest moments. Overcoming mental fatigue is not about brute force, it's about strategy and care. Rest, sleep, nutrition, movement, mindfulness, boundaries, and purpose all work together to restore and protect your mind. Champions combine these strategies consistently, creating resilience that keeps them performing at their best day after day. Remember, your mind is your most powerful tool. Treat it with respect. Recognize when it's tired. Restore it intentionally. Protect it from unnecessary strain. When you master mental fatigue, focus becomes effortless, clarity becomes natural, and energy becomes your ally. By taking care of your mind and energy, you don't just survive challenges, you thrive through them. You unlock your full potential, achieve your goals, and rise above the ordinary. Mental fatigue will no longer hold you back. You'll become unstoppable. This is the final step in your journey, build your focus, protect your energy, and harness your mind. Every chapter you've learned, every habit you've formed, and every ritual you've practiced leads to one truth. Your attention and mental energy are the keys to extraordinary success. You are now equipped to control your focus, overcome fatigue, and perform like a champion. Every day becomes an opportunity to train your mind, strengthen your will, and take deliberate action toward the life you desire. Focus is not fleeting. Discipline is not temporary. Your mind, once trained, is unstoppable. This is your power. This is your life.